Hey everybody, welcome to a video about Rocket's buff. Now we're going to be switching between in-game and also the new buff information. New buff information should be found on the forum if you want to go and read that. But we're going to do a little bit of like a compare thing and what's in-game, what are we looking to see with this champion, counters, stuff like that. So what Kabam said is that his new kit is here. His kit has been upgraded with the latest technology to enhance his abilities as a scavenger. Rocket spends his time gathering scrap metal to make weapons of mass destruction. That sounds pretty cool in a very kind of dire straits kind of a way. But that could be something like fun in that it's a bit of a nod to his scrapping kind of like scrapping, but also like the Rocket Scrapyard type event as well, which I think is like a nice kind of little nod. Players will be using his critical hits to chip away opponents' weapons and armor to gain scrap metal, which can be spent, using his special attacks to gain different forms of utility. If Rocket is feeling pressured by his opponent, he can use his scrap metal to build a shield system, which grants him a ton of defense. Now, I don't know if this means we're going to have some animation changes or animation improvements. That I would like to see that, especially with all this stuff that he's able to do. His signature ability is also incredibly strong, giving him a powerful heal block when combined with armor break from his heavy attack. Sweet, okay. A lot of people, myself included, have a high signature version of him from collecting him back in the day. Would like a 6-star version, but you do get that in a free crystal. Not a free crystal. You get that in a crystal this month. So it could be a case you get a 6-star version if you didn't have one before. But yeah, I got 140 signature 5-star version. So maybe I'll be taking that further. We'll have to see. The champion also has a bleed and rupture, armor break, armor and precision. Cool. That brings his champion to a light of going, depends on how active the armor is. Whether you can make him a counter to Havoc. Just saying, possibly not. Maybe good for some interactions with certain nodes. Strengths, Rocket has incredible powerful armor break debuffs, which he can access on his heavy attack and SP2. Stacking these leads to powerful utility when combining with signature ability, as well as the metric ton of damage. Love it. Rocket's shield system allows him to minimize damage when dealing with dangerous threats after consuming scrap metal. Rocket's shield system activates when struck to grant him resistances and armor. Could work with Suicide Masteries, maybe not. We'll have to see. And also powerful heal block and power control. So that's good. It's got that. And what's it? Letting him deal with the mass amounts of regen deal a mutant class. Nice. Glass cannon, armor break. Weaknesses, and what else? Scrap metal. So scrap metal, as it says here, Rocket actively hunts for metal scraps to make weapons of mass destruction. Nice. And all of Rocket's attacks increase critical rating by 370.59 for each hit in the combo meter. So combo building with a signature ability. Is that a signature ability? I don't think it is. No, it's just part of his basic ability. Nice. Okay. There's build up combos, do more stuff. Whenever the armor break effect removes an armor up buff from the opponent, Rocket steals broken armor pieces and gains 10 scrap metal. So that's how he builds it. And Kabam saying scrap metal is Rocket's main resource. He uses it for all special attacks and his shield system. Maintain your combos to strike your opponent with a critical hit. Build up scrap metal to melt your enemies, build your defense, or inflict powerful power drains. Handy. Especially because if you look in game, you'll see that at this current standing, there's not really much on offer. There's some stuff when it comes to like the shielding side of things, but apart from that, like this kind of kinetic shield, shell shield, and emergency shield, so he's kind of switching between different types of shield types, which is kind of like, what Kabam are advertising right here, which is so some of the things are retained, I think the point I was trying to get to. Whenever Rocket dashes back and holds block for 1.2 seconds, he will use 25 scrap metal to construct a dormant shield system to protect him from threats. When Rocket is struck with the dormant shield system, it will activate, last for 6 seconds. Activate shield system, grant the following effect. Armor rating up, that's good. Physical resistance and plus 30% special attack resistance. The combo shield preventing Rocket's combo meter from resetting when struck. The shield system can also block unblockable attacks from mutant champions. That is and could be very handy for different things. So it's very positive. As Kabam do say that what they've done is they've combined the shields to be one specific shield. So with the kinetic shield, shell shield, and emergency shield, imagine all those effects from those particular shields all in one house. One usage and one protection, which is great. So well done, Kabam, for kind of doing that. I think that's cool. And also with a heavy attack, the first hit of the heavy attack consumes 10 scrap metal to inflict an armor break debuff, max 5. The armor break lasts 15 seconds and reduces armor rating by X amount. This ability cannot be activated while under 10 scraps, so you would have to have like the equivalent of, what, 60 in order to go like boom, 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 boom to have them on for a length of time. Whether or not you could rotate around that quickly over 15 seconds, debatable on that fact, but it may be a case that there's some particular node that will be helpful for the system. SP1 now. Each hit inflicts a rupture debuff, dealing X amount of damage, depending on the rarity. Each hit consumes 15 scrap metal to power drain the opponent. That's handy because you can use that, as we said, as a currency as to like how you use it in a particular fight. You know, a champion is all or nothing or builds a lot of power and you're like, I need to throw an SP1 in order to control that power. Boom, 15 scrap metal has been kind of used, power drain the opponent. 15% of the opponent's current power. The ability does not activate if it has less than 15 scrap metal. Okay. And also we've got SP2, which is grenade toss. Is that going to be similar to what it is in game, or is something new? Well, I think kind of. I don't know. I'd love to see if there's any animation changes. Rocket takes all of his scrap metal and constructs a destructive grenade. Rocket gains a 143,156 increased attack rating for the final explosion based on the amount of scrap metal consumed. So that's cool. Just get a load of scrap metal, throw an SP2. I don't know what happened there. My voice just kind of like I don't know, maybe I hiccuped. The explosion inflicts an armor break debuff lasting 30 seconds and reducing armor rating. Nice. Nice. So that could be really cool. Build up a load of scrap metal, big damage SP2, big debuff. Love it. Okay, cool. And then we got the Big Blaster with SP3. Rocket uses his scrap metal to make the Big Blaster to annihilate the opponent's power bar. Consume all scrap metal to inflict 12 seconds power drain debuff, draining up to 2 bars of opponent's power based on the amount of scrap metal consumed. While this power drain is active, the opponent is also passively special locked. This devastating blast also inflicts a bleed debuff, dealing 8,000 direct damage over 30 seconds. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. Rocket Special Attack 3 leads to an incredibly potent power drain and special lock. The special gets more and more powerful as you reach maximum scrap metal, so only use it when you've got a lot. The special also pairs incredibly well with SP1, which will destroy the opponent's power bar even more. Love it. Okay, do you know what? I'm sold. I think it's going to be a fantastic and fun, aggressive, offensive champion. I don't know if I got my words out, but I'm excited for it. I think it's really cool. I'm moving now into the signature ability, which is Master Tactician, especially because, like, you know, at the moment there's nothing really going on for the champion apart from the increase of critical rating, which is it pretty much there, or it gets critical resistance. So it's sort of not really. While the opponent is under the effective armor break debuff, they are passively heal blocked. Great, handy for certain situations. Whenever the opponent would gain health from regeneration, they are inflicted with power drain debuff, draining 1% to 5% of their current power over 0.5 seconds. Nice. Rocket shield system grants him 2,186.34 critical resistance. While dormant, Rocket shield system grants him block proficiency. This effect also persists while the shield system is active. Great. This means that he'll kind of like have some decent block proficiency, a little bit of strength when he goes into that well-timed block. So yes, that's going to be smashing. I'm looking forward to that one. Developer note is that since Rocket's previous signature ability was moved to his base kit, we wanted a new ability that really allows him to shine in the tech class. Yeah, just giving him that kind of stockiness that he needs, because he doesn't really have any kind of stockiness. So he gets a little bit of everything, which is nice, and also just helps you out if you have any kind of problems. You get knocked down and, you know, by a crit or whatever, and just has crit resistance. So it should be very, very nice. Also, how much for the arms? Yes, a signature ability that kind of has a bit of a nod to that, which whenever Rocket inflicts an armor break using his heavy attack, he gains an armor up buff, increasing armor rating by 400 by 10 seconds. That is actually really good, because that could be your counter to Havoc and a few other things as well. Not saying just that, it's other things. And also some other champions get some stuff. Misty Knight would gain 2 anti-metal. She also gains 3 instead. Okay. And he's still using Scrap Weapons Boy, which is Rocket gets max scrap increase to 60 with Yondu. And Yondu's special attack to Fury duration is increased by 50%. Nice. And that seems to be it. It says incoming synergies. So anything in particular? Critical hits grant Rocket 1 additional scrap metal. That's with Hitmonkey and others. And recommended masteries, Collar Tech, which is Collar Tech lets Rocket prevent his opponents from building even more power as he builds up his critical hits to build scrap. The first time I've seen that advocated for Collar Tech. And also got deep wounds and block proficiency. I mean, SP3 rotation for deep wounds as well. So it's up to you whether or not you want to, how you want to set up this champion. And yeah, it looks good. You may want to have him with block proficiency. Again, it's down to you. Exciting stuff, interesting. I'm hoping for a few new animation changes here and there with Rocket. And I love the scrap builder scenarios and what you can have with the kind of defensive elements for you as you play. Not from it as using him as a defender, but kind of like how you would be very much kind of offense, but also have those defensive qualities of critical resistance, block proficiency, and more. And yeah, build up those scrap, fire an SP2 or an SP3 for a nice bleed. Your choice at the end of the day. Yeah, looks cool. We'll see how the champion plays out. That has been a video. Thank you very much for watching. What are your thoughts on Rocket? Put it in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Cheers, everybody. Much love. Goodbye. Goodbye for now.